full-size shovel right here. Nothing fancy right here. Old gardening shovel. So the whole overland industry created some cute little accessories. I had a cute little folding shovel and it broke after one use. First time I tried to dig with it, it broke. So the overland industry has created cute little accessories for you to spend your money on. You look forward to payday so you could buy new accessories for your vehicle, and then you get junk like this. Overlanding. Is it a scam, a grift, a joke, not a real hobby? Has it gone too far? This is my overland rig. Lifted, two-wheel drive Econoline with the rear locker. It's got a light bar on it. It's got a ladder, awning, storage box. I will say it right now, I do enjoy the sick add-ons. Here's a channel I'm subscribed to, made a great video on Bilstein 5100 shocks and why so many off-road lift kits use them. So he made this video 5 months ago. Why aren't more people saying this about overlanding? It's not a real hobby. And then when you look at the sidebar, there's a bunch of topics on overlanding, like this camping craze needs to stop, rooftop tent. I was recommended this video the other day, the phony world of overlanding, like the thumbnail, and then his thumbnails are a parody of what's going on in the overlanding world. Bolt on as many things on your vehicle as you can. What is overlanding? It's car camping. And 208 Tyler here made a great point. Most people into car camping will go on a road like this. And that's it. Most vehicles could handle a simple dirt road like this. Is camping in your car a real hobby? So in Tyler's video, he says part of camping in your car, you camp in your car, then you go fishing or you go hunting or hiking. I don't do either of those. I just want to camp in my car in the middle of nowhere, look at the stars, hang out in my van, enjoy my van build. I'm a car enthusiast who happens to like vans, and this is what happens when a car enthusiast gets a van. And I don't have the biggest budget in the world. That's why this is not a four-wheel drive conversion. There's a company called Illuminiz. They make storage boxes for these vans. They're $2,000. I can't budget $2,000 for a storage box, so I got creative. I have about $100 into my storage box. A top-of-the-line four-wheel drive conversion costs $30,000 installed. My van is a lifted two-wheel drive with a locking diff, open diff, locked. So since my van is two-wheel drive, I wanted to make my two-wheel drive van the best that it could be. So it has an aux locker. A hobby is doing something you enjoy, doing something that you're proud of. And even though I don't have the nicest van in the world, I'm proud of it. Since it is a DIY, I got creative with it. And since I don't have the most money, I don't have the biggest budget, nothing in here is spectacular, but it's functional. So this is a Walmart futon sofa bed. It's in bed mode right now. That's a cheap 12-volt fridge, Joy Tudis. Bogue RV also makes them. Solar charge controller, so I got a battery down there. Some video games, Astro City Mini. I got a weather station. So you get creative. I just wanted a weather station on my wall. Flat screen TV. So yeah, I don't want to go fishing or hunting or hiking. I just want to hang out in my van, out in the desert, out in the forest, by a lake. I want to wake up to trees in the wild, not a parking lot. But I also like parking lot camping, and that's why a van was perfect for me. So it's different than a Jeep Wrangler, Tacoma 4Runner also. Always wanted to play Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder. Just picked this thing up. Is overlanding a scam? A little bit. It definitely created a scam market. Like I said earlier, I like all the sick add-ons. I like lights. I like stuff hanging off my van. It looks adventurous. The thing with vans is a lot of people complain that when they're sleeping in urban areas, they get a knock. I never gotten the knock, and my theory is it looks like I don't live in this thing. So if a cop sees this, they're assuming I'm headed out, going camping, out on an adventure. So this looks like an adventure rig, and that's part of the fun, having a safari rig, an adventure rig. So I do like the add-ons, but here's the thing. What's one of the staples of overlanding rigs? You need recovery boards hanging off of your vehicle. These are the cheapest recovery boards on the market, $55. And this is my second set. One of them got lost in the dirt and the other one's all grinded up. So these are brand new. This is one use. Plastic's melted. Nubs are grind off right here, but I still have them mainly to look cool and to level my vehicle. If I'm parked somewhere not even, I'll use these to level them off. So these are cheapies and they aren't very good. Another thing you need, a shovel, full-size shovel right here. Nothing fancy right here, old gardening shovel. So the whole overland industry created some cute little accessories. I had a cute little folding shovel and it broke after one use. First time I tried to dig with it, it broke. So the overland industry has created cute little accessories for you to spend your money on. You look forward to payday so you could buy new accessories for your vehicle, and then you get junk like this. That's a milk crate on my storage box, DIY. This fad has also created opportunity for companies like Alltop. So even though there are junk products out there for this fad, there are also good products at an affordable price. I did a review on my Alltop air compressor and my Alltop tire deflators. So if you can't budget name brand products like ARB, there's decent companies like Alltop out there. Is this a grift? Definitely. So I'm into lifted vans and four-wheel drive vans, and I've definitely seen my share of people try to grift into this genre on YouTube. They get themselves a lifted van, they try to be the next adventure channel, and they're gone within a year. So definitely a grift. This is definitely a fad. It's been around for a long time. This is my second van build. I'll show you guys my first van build before this was a fad. So let me know in the comments section, when did you guys start noticing this is becoming a fad? Like everything, like a Subaru Crosstrek or Prius, they got rooftop tents now. When did that start happening? But the whole overland thing has been around for a while. That word overland just didn't exist, but there has been snorkels on vehicles forever. I want a snorkel for my van. Yeah, like anything else in life, this is definitely a fad. Here's my last van build. Look at that upload date, 11 years ago. The funny thing is, this wasn't as much of a fad 11 years ago, and my last van build actually looks better than my current one. But my current van is a lot better. Well, more thought out. The mistakes I made with my last van build, I didn't make with this one. My last van was a 5.0 V8. My current one is a V10 with a 6.8. And this one's re-geared with the rear locker. My last van didn't get a re-gear, so it got worse with the lift kit and bigger tires. So this one got re-geared and it has a locker. So I wanted to do this van right. Overlanding is definitely over dramatic. You don't need all this stuff to sleep at a campground, to sleep off of a dirt road. You don't need a ladder. You don't need recovery boards, a storage box. Most of the terrain you do will not require any of that stuff. The irony of all this is I'm good friends with the guy who originally lifted these vans, Action Van Suspension. He also owns an off-road shop, Full Tilt Off-Road. So that guy could have his company build him a 12-inch lifted 4-wheel drive conversion on 40s. And this guy runs his company's 2-wheel drive lift kit on 285 tires, and he has a single light bar where the gap is in his bumper. He doesn't run all these sick add-ons. Most simple van build ever, and he has the means to flex on everyone, create the most outlandish, over-the-top build, but he doesn't. So this whole overlanding thing, I think it is a hobby. Kind of is a scam. Definitely a grift for some people, but it's fun. And do what makes you happy, right? That's what life is all about. So if building up the most ridiculous looking overland rig with all the sick add-ons on it makes you happy, makes you look forward to payday, makes you look forward to the weekend because you want to put your lights on, $12 Amazon brackets, but you're looking forward to putting extra lights on your van, putting a ladder on your van, that makes you happy, do it. Doesn't matter what other people say. Have fun with it. What else could I bolt onto my van? You know what? I need 17-inch rims and 285 75 17 tires. So my tires are 1 inch taller. Right now they're 285 75 16. So if I upsize it just by one, I have a slightly taller van. Do I need it? No. But hey, embrace looking cool because it's a lot of fun. Lifted Van Meet, November 2024. Action van suspension. Plenty of clearance. Looking good. This is Larry's van from Action Van Suspension, the OG in the industry, hang out with us. The cool thing about Larry is he could get his company to build him a 12-inch lifted 4x4 conversion, and he's running a modest van build, no sick add-ons, just a light bar there. He's running a limited slip, bowl for moto. There you go, Action Van Suspension with Fox 2.0s. You look at the inside, very simple. Nothing extravagant. It's like he's one of us. So really cool he came out here. Also answering some questions here for people wanting a lift kit. And there he is right there. Say hi, Larry.
Hey, what's up?
And there's Moto. Checking out all the vans here. It's mine right there.